Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. It's been about a week since I MOT'd this car and I have been driving it actually 600 kilometers. The first week and a few days of a car being reborn and getting back on the road, especially the way I do it, where I don't really fix everything, I just fix what is necessary to get it going, will reveal a lot of issues. So I'm just going to go through what I have found on this car and how it all went. Inside the cabin of the Skoda, there is a couple of things wrong, and some are more important to fix than others, but let me go through them. One thing is the washer engine or the washer motor for the front windscreen. It is not working, and I have actually already ordered one, so I will be fitting that in a couple of weeks, I think. I found out the heater core was actually a bit clogged, so I have fixed that. But in doing so, I snapped the cable, so the selector for the heater is no longer working. I have a new cable on its way. I can turn it on and off down here, just barely, but it's difficult, especially while driving. And also the blower engine fan is not working either. And I'm pretty sure that it's the engine itself that has, for some reason, stopped working. So I have another one of those on their way. Other than that, the clutch is working fine, but it is dripping brake fluid on my shoes, which is not very nice. So I have a new one that I'm going to fit. The brakes are fine, but there is a leak back problem that I was expecting. If I apply pressure and hold it there, the pressure will release slowly and I have no leaks. That tells me that the seals in the master brake cylinder is not working proper. I was completely expecting that. It was my plan to rebuild it, but it turned out that it wasn't really rebuildable for some reason. I can't take it apart. So I bought a new one and I'm gonna fit that very soon because that's important. So the engine is doing great. I'm really stoked about how well this engine actually comes back to life. I'm having a hard time starting it from time to time. Not hard, but it just takes a little while. But it runs so nice, really, really nice. But I already had my first breakdown in it, actually. It happened in the weekend, actually. I went to visit a friend who is watching my channel and has been watching this progress on the Skoda. And I was looking so much forward to show him how well it turned out. So I parked it in his driveway. And we went to take it for a little drive and it just stopped working. Well, it didn't really stop working, but suddenly it lost power and it got worse and worse. And in the end, the only way I could get it back home to his place was actually to not touch the throttle at all, but pull the choke all the way. Then I could drive it on the choke. Actually, it did 45 kilometers per hour in fifth gear, or fourth gear, of course, with the choke. It's not very good for the engine, but that was the only way we could get it back at his place. This choke is the reverse of normal. Very often the choke is an air restrictor, so less air is put into the engine, therefore getting the mixture more rich. On this one though, it actually seems to put more fuel in when you pull it. But my feeling was really that it was struggling to get enough fuel when I opened the butterfly with the throttle. So, yeah, that was my first breakdown. And a bit embarrassing. I was really looking forward to showing him, hey, take a look at this car. Even though it hasn't driven for 25 years, it's actually reliable and doing pretty well. Well, it didn't. But I could fix it with the tools that he got. It was just a clogged, I couldn't really find the clogged nozzle or anything, but I cleaned the carb out and put it back on and then it was working perfectly again. And it has been working ever since, but I have bought a rebuild kit for the carb, so I'm going to rebuild that. I'm also going to rebuild the fuel pump because of the hard starting issues. I'm pretty sure that it's due to slow working or fuel pump or some drain bag issues. So because I have to pump it extremely much to get it to run at the start of the day. When it's hot, it's fine. So the engine is doing great and there's not a lot of work needs to be done in here. But the gearbox is leaking oil. It's leaking oil through a very worn gator or drive shaft boot. I have ordered a new one and I will have to fix that soon. One thing is that it's dripping, it's a mess. It's not good for the environment or anything. And also I risk the chance of losing too much oil in the gearbox and I could end up damaging the gearbox, which would be a shame. So I'm gonna fix that very soon. So all in all, the Skoda is doing great and I'm really happy. It is a lot of fun to drive. It's really, really something. I already had a lot of fun talks with people who knew someone who owned one, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to drive. But all in all, the Skoda is doing great, but there will be a lot of videos in the future on the Skoda. I need to fix the brakes, the clutch, the gearbox issues, the interior issues, and I also bought new sets of these, even for the front, and I can't wait to fit those because these are just cool. I only have one on the car at the moment, the other one is gone. So yeah, this is just a small update and see you in the next one.